Today, we're diving into something that could fundamentally change how we treat neurological disorders. This is an exciting one. It looks like scientists have created the first comprehensive map of the entire mouse brain during a decision-making process, or the decision-making process, challenging everything we thought we knew about how our brains operate. A massive international team has mapped over 600,000 neurons across the entire mouse brain to see decision-making in real time. The breakthrough finding is that decision-making is not localized in one area, but is distributed across nearly the whole brain, with most activity being ongoing background noise, not task-specific. What's going on here, John, and why do you think this is important?
Yeah, so this is crazy because neuroscientists for decades believed that decision-making worked like an assembly line. So information flows from your eyes to your visual cortex, then to a decision center, and finally to motor areas that make you act. But when the International Brain Laboratory mapped over 650,000 brain cells in mice making simple choices, they found something shocking. Like you said, the entire brain lights up. It lights up like a Christmas tree, and it happens during decision making. So there's activity simultaneously appearing across almost all brain regions. So it's not a neat assembly line. It's more like a massive coordinated orchestra where every section plays together to create the symphony of a single decision, and I love that. So the study used advanced neuropixel probes, which are silicon electrodes that can simultaneously record up to 1,000 individual neurons. And they deployed across 12 laboratories in a standardized experimental setup. So what the researchers did was they recorded from 621,733 individual brain cells across 139 mice, covering 279 brain areas, which represents 95% of mouse brain volume. So the paradigm was elegantly simple, yet scientifically rigorous. Mice sat before screens where black and white stripe markers flashed left or right, and they had to turn a wheel in the correct direction to receive a sugar reward. So critically, some trials used extremely faint stimuli, forcing mice to rely on learned expectations about where the stimulus was likely to appear. But this just blows away everything that we've thought about. I think this is cool. What do you think?
I think it's really cool. And to put it in another perspective, scientists have essentially created a Google Maps for the brain decision-making process, but at the level of individual living cells. And they watch the whole brain, not just a small neighborhood, as the mouse made decisions to do this. So think traditional neuroscience is trying to understand how a city works by watching only the mayor's office. This new research is like watching every car, every pedestrian, every utility worker, every light switch across the entire city at the exact same time. So what this solves the problem of limited narrow view. Traditional studies only look at small isolated brain regions, giving an incomplete picture of complex functions. And what this new capability unlocks is the ability to see how the brain-wide network coordinates and how much it's, like you said, light up like a Christmas tree across all these things. And perhaps most surprisingly is that task-related neural activity accounts for only 5% of brain activity variability. The remaining 95 consists of ongoing cerebral activity that continues regardless of specific stimuli types.
Yeah, what I like about this is the applications for this, right? So the methodology itself, what they use, can be applied to study conditions like schizophrenia or autism, which involve what they believe is a disrupted prediction process. And so by understanding how expectations are coded throughout the brain, this distributed nature way of making decisions may explain why brain damage often has complex, unpredictable effects on behavior, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, because we thought if it impacted this side of the brain, it only did these certain things or this area of the brain. But now we understand that much more of the brain are involved in all of these things, depending on the expected type of stimuli and that kind of stuff. Different parts of the brain light up to help with that. And as a result, it affects people in different ways when you're damaging an area that was previously thought uninvolved in the decision-making process as a result.
Yeah. And what I like about this study is it's not just isolated to one lab. This covered 12 laboratories, 139 mice, and 279 brain areas, right? So this is not just, oh, yeah, this is one study and this will get disproven. No, this was a coordinated study. And it actually, there was a parallel study in 2024 that found similar distributed decision-making patterns in mice. So this isn't the first time, and this isn't just a one-off case, right? So there is a lot of clout and a lot of potential here.
Yeah, this could lead to more targeted and effective treatments for neurological disorders like schizophrenia, autism, by focusing on network level disruptions instead of a single damaged region. Better AI and automation, the findings on how the brain uses best guesses, expectation, and coding to make the fast decisions could be copied and be more efficient to be human-like artificial intelligence for business automation, potentially. And deeper self-understanding, it confirms that your brain constantly running a sophisticated background process of ongoing activity, meaning your perceptions and decisions are always guided by the accumulated knowledge and perception, not just the present moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I want to touch on the scale of this too. So, and this is the largest standardized neuroscience data set ever assembled. It requires 6 years of coordination across 22 laboratories involving 80 neuroscientists. And what's cool about this is it drew inspiration from the large scale collaborations in physics like CERN and the Human Genome Project. So they're essentially pioneering this new model of big science in neuroscience, which I love.
Yeah, this is great. But like everything else, we're probably not going to see any actual applications from this for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But in drug development or whatever they end up doing from a targeting point of view, because it could be other things. Now we have Neuralink and other ways to get at the brain. So this research breakthrough that provides fundamental map and methodology, it's not a product or anything, but it's a precursor for future medical technology that we're likely to see, like I said, in 5 to 10 years. It's probably going to be premium expensive at first, any sort of related to do this as stuff rolls out. And it's very complex. Like the concerns are the sheer scale. 95% of the brain is incredibly complex and challenging for research to fully analyze and translate into simple treatments. Like we've done this in a mouse, right?
Yeah.
Ethical and concerns. Mimicking the brain's decision making for AI could lead to ethical dilemmas. We already have AI issues. One AI won't let you do one thing, and the other AI will just let you do 1,000 different things. Like it's weird, but translating mice to humans. Findings in mice don't always translate directly to humans, requiring further research. And most brain activity is ongoing, not task related, which still needs to be fully understood because, it's the unknown mystery 95%.
Exactly. Yeah. This is I'm not surprised though that we're advancing like this because just 20 years ago, maybe longer, but we thought that we only use 10% of our brain. So this is that natural progression and advancement in science and our knowledge, right?
Yeah. And it is a little shocking that, you have to block everything out to focus. And that focus when you're doing something is only using up to 5% of your brain because you still got all that 95% in the background. So
yeah,
like when you think about focus, like what you're just trying to get to that 5%.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a groundbreaking study that not only changes neuroscience, but promises a future of highly targeted therapies and advanced AI. And that's all I have the time we have today to talk about this for now, but we'll be watching these developments from International Brain Laboratory closely. Let's love to know what you would think this distributed decision-making means for human consciousness. Give us your feedback. What do you got going on, John?
Yeah, just gearing up. Is this coming out in December?
Yeah, December might even be January now, actually.
Okay, gearing up for the holidays or gearing down from the holidays. So planning out my next few months and, ramping up for shred season. How about you, Craig?
Well, we're wrapping up 2025 and planning 2026. So this is probably too late for the Start Investor Drinks and Flowgrammer events in December, but take a look for them in January. There's always stuff going on. Check out torontostarts.com for our startup and business related events and resources. And check out flowgrammer.ca for our business and AI automation information if you're looking for that. And if you're a builder in Toronto and you want to join the Flowgrammer Builders Club, head over to flowgrammers.ca. That website is live now. Go check it out. Join us at our live events. We do online stuff. We do live office hours every week. Go over there and sign up. There's downloaded workflows and tools you can test and play with. So check all that stuff out. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where do they go?
Yeah, come find me on LinkedIn. I've got a link. You can book some time with me or send me a message so that we can have a conversation first. But find me on LinkedIn, John Irwin, no H. But if you need help with your business overall, with your startup, how do they get in touch with you, Craig?
Head over to startupcoach.ca or torontostarts.com and just book a call with me and get a discovery call, find out what's going on and get you motivated. If you're not interested in that, come out to one of our events, talk to other founders and whatnot, and just talk to people. It really is knowing that you're not alone can motivate you a lot. But other than that, give us a call or book a meeting over at torontostarts.com. And thanks everyone for listening or watching, and hope to talk to you again soon.